wanna know what's really going on, search for the answers and question it all. Turn your televisions off, cause you're being brainwashed. Brainwashed. If you wanna know what's really going on, search for the answers and question it all. Turn your televisions off, cause you're being brainwashed.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Okay, so really quick, I know here over at the Ellis Network lately we've been talking about a lot of stuff that's been mainstream around the world. And again, I apologize for my voice, so just please bear with me. I might have to actually, in fact, hit one of these companies up, and you'll see here in a minute why that's funny. Anyways, I want to talk about big pharmaceuticals. Most of you guys know that it's not a stranger to mainstream media or the public or the epidemic that it's causing. Now, don't get me wrong, modern medicine today, it helps. It helps with a lot. There's a lot of things that modern medicine does that actually helps people, live happy, productive, healthy lives. But then there's medicine out there that may come and fix one thing, but also is going to have side effects that cause different things. And then you're going to have a medicine to counteract that, but that medicine even comes with different things. You know, it kind of feels like pharmaceutical companies are trying to make it to where people have to live on them. And I'm trying to think of the word here. My brain is just not thinking clear. Like we need pharmaceutical companies like that. You know, thank you for keeping us healthy and alive from high cholesterol, but now you're giving me bad blood, and it's a revolving cycle. First off, I want to say over here on YouTube, you guys can click on the link in the description for what I'm about to talk to you guys about. There's a news article with a video and an interview you guys can watch. It's way more in depth. This is from RT News America. Okay, I understand Russia News is Russia time, or RT News is Russian Times. But they also have an American section. And the reason why I want to talk to you guys about this is because I want to go back to my roots where I say alternative news. This isn't something that's really mainstream, or it's not at the top of the list, but it's still something equally as important to think about. Alright, now, we know that here in America and elsewhere around the world, there's been a major epidemic with overdoses. It started off, the big thing was Percocets and Valiums and, narcotics. And then now it's heroin. Heroin's the biggest to this point. And we all know heroin, it's a synthetic, or not heroin. Oxycontin is a synthetic heroin. I mean, to me, that's what me and my friends would like to call the government's heroin. That's what big pharmaceutical companies are giving people for pain management. Very highly addictive. And then next you know, most of these people, they have such an addictive personality. Hell, I know I do. We get addicted to these things. Next you know, we're going through rehabs. We're spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on our loved ones, hoping to get them better. And you have more of a losing percentage than you do a victory from it. It's definitely something that's captivating people and drowning them under. And then, again, like I said, modern medicine, it does help to an extent. But there's been stories throughout the history where we try to get people to, be aware. There's been seminars around the United States, for drug awareness and stuff like that. But when it comes to mainstream media and talking about, questioning big pharmaceutical companies about this, it's really been kind of hush-hush. And the reason why it's really haven't been talked about on mainstream media is because think about when you guys are watching Fox News or CNN or ABC, NBC, and you're sitting there watching the commercials. Hell, CNN. How many big pharmaceutical company commercials do you guys see on a daily on CNN's network alone? Throughout the commercials, there's like 5 or 6 different medications. And they're rambling on about if you have depression, you could take this, but you might have suicidal thoughts, or you might start shitting out your eyeballs, or something like that. Like I said, they're really That's big advertisement for CNN. That's a big paycheck for CNN. Big pharmaceutical companies pay CNN to put it out there as advertisement. Getting people hooked. Next you know, people's getting hooked to where they're showing up at these rehab centers. Rehab centers are even putting, alternative drugs down people's throats. Perfect example for my YouTube channels just a couple days ago, New Year's Eve, I brought out that video early in the morning, talk about the Ellis Network confession. And I told you guys I spent my 24th birthday in the mental hospital. Tried to commit suicide. And no, that wasn't due to modern day medicine. That was to me self-medicating with drugs. That led me to that point. And when I first went there, they didn't have room in the mental health department. It was one big building. Just the only thing that separated corridors was the hallways. On one side of the hallway you had your drug and alcohol rehabilitation, and then on the right hand side hallway, you would have the opposite, the mental health division. So for 3 days I had to spend over in the drug and alcohol, and it wasn't because I relapsed or I OD'd or I was an alcoholic trying to get sober. It's just because I volunteered to go, and because I tried to commit suicide and I had nowhere else to go. I mean, I was already at broke bottom. So it's just one of the other things that I had to endure to get myself right. But they roomed me up with this individual that he banged out his knee. I can't remember what he was doing. He was a bigger gentleman. But I remember him saying that the doctor, for his pain management, gave him Oxycontin. And then it was only supposed to be temporary. A 30-day script turned into a 6-month script. Next, a 6-month script turned into a year script. And this kid ended up actually going to see a second opinion. And the doctor sent him to the rehab center because he wanted to get him weaned off the Oxycontins. And for the first 2 days, actually I want to say the first 24 hours was cool with this guy. You could clearly see the second day, he was very irritable. And I remember the third day when I left that wing to go to where I actually needed to go, to the mental health ward. This guy was throwing up, he was shaking, he was screaming. I mean, like he was going through the withdrawals. And who's to say what happened after that? I don't know if I would like to think that this individual did get himself cleaned up and followed doctor's orders, but we all know, addiction's hard. If you talk to someone that's an addict or has been an addict, addiction's a real hard thing to get off of. Especially when your body becomes so dependent on it. I've asked myself plenty of times, I wonder what happened to that guy. I hope he went out and, became successful. But also at the same time, with as bad as he was screaming and crying, maybe he could have went back out to the streets. That's a sad case in this story. There's a lot of people that do go out there. They go get injured. They have no previous drug addiction. And Oxycontins and Vicodins and, morphine pills, they're very addictive. Next these people are getting addicted to pills. And when they can't get their pills, a lot of times they resort to heroin. And then you have them ODing. One thing I don't agree with is when you have a drug addiction and you call it a disease. I have a disease. Mental health, that's a disease. An addiction is when you have a choice and you don't do nothing about it. Maybe you do have a disease, but I want to call it a drug disease. Maybe you have the mentality of a 5-year-old that doesn't know the right between right and wrong. I don't know. I don't know who you are. But, guys, again, I'm going to post a link to this description if you guys would like to read more about it. Click on them, take the time, leave some comments, shares, whatever you guys got to do. Again, everyone over here on YouTube, I've made a SoundCloud. Pretty much everything that I'll post on YouTube will be on SoundCloud. Only difference is my YouTube will have some sort of presentation, whether or not we're doing, a vlog talk radio talk show like this, or if I actually want to do a broadcast showing you guys some stuff. Again, if you're on SoundCloud listening to me, please, I urge you to join us over here on YouTube as well. you will quickly, if you're just now joining us over on SoundCloud and you come over and check us out over here on YouTube, you can clearly see that we tie into a bunch of different things. So if this is something you guys are interested in, I would greatly appreciate the support. And hopefully my voice will be getting better within the next couple of days. I can't imagine this sinus backup could be lasting much longer. I've been I've been waking up every morning with my nose running. If you guys listen to my podcast this morning, you could tell I was sniffling a lot. Hopefully it's over with here very, very shortly. Again, YouTube, SoundCloud, check the descriptions. Click on the links. You guys read it for yourselves and then watch the interview in the video. If I cannot post the description in SoundCloud, please, if you want to learn more about this and what I'm saying, come over to my YouTube channel, find the corresponding video, click on the link in the description, and you can find it that way as well. Alright, I'm slowly working on how to do everything here, not only on YouTube but as well now SoundCloud. Again, we're working up to a goal towards going to Patriot. Alright guys, thank you for the support, and I will see you guys later.